Hey, welcome to Big Brother Cycling. We are down here at Marysville, which is just outside of Knoxville. We're headed towards the tail of the dragon today. Very excited about it. Today, Joe's Ducati Desert Sled, his 2017, gets a younger brother. So what we've got today is my brand new, it's only got about 600 miles on it, Ducati Desert Sled. It's a 2020 version, and we're excited about it. We've got to fuel up, and then we'll get on the road and head over to the Smoky Mountain National Forest, and we'll also head over to the tail of the dragon today. So we're very excited about it. Should be a lot of fun, and we will keep you apprised as we get there. See you soon.
Hey, all right. Hey, welcome back to the Big Brother Cycling. The title of today's video is that the Ducati Desert Sled gets a younger brother. And what you're looking at right there is my brand new 2020 Ducati Desert Sled. It's got about 600 miles on at this point. And we are super excited today. We are headed out to the tail of the dragon in North Carolina, Great Smoky Mountain National Forest. Very, very excited about this ride, and we had an absolute blast. As you can see here, we're heading right into the southwest corner of the tail of the dragon, and this is an observation point. And again, this is the first time through this, so we wanted to see how it would go, and we wanted to just take a quick stop, see where we were going to ride, and check the map. And it just happened to be that there were a bunch of people here who had already come through from basically the northeast down to the southwest. And there were some bloggers taking some photos and so forth, and doing some interviews. And I just love the gentleman's flag there, dual flags on the 4th of July, playing some martial music. Really shows what this day was all about. So sit back and enjoy. We are going to head out here in a minute for the tail of the dragon. But right here at this observation point, there were all these markings on the rocks. People had left their mark. And just a beautiful horseshoe valley right there filled with water heading out to the dam. So Joe and I are getting ready to start up, and we will start heading towards the tail of the dragon. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, so this at the observation scenic overlook, this is where a lot of the riders were recuperating after their first run through the tail of the dragon. Joe and I got an opportunity actually to go through without anybody ahead of us. We weren't going to burn it up. We were just going to enjoy it, enjoy the handling of the bikes, and enjoy the scenery. Essentially, we got hung up by a couple of vehicles, but not any motorcycles. It was really primarily cars or vehicles that were ahead of us. But as you can see, we're getting fired up. Joe's getting his helmet put on, and we're going to see if we can run with it. I will have to say we really enjoyed this old guy who came walking through. I don't know if he had been out to a restroom break, but as he comes through, Joe gives him a nice greeting for the 4th of July. And I just have to really respect his patriotism, his love of country, and showing that the U.S. flag stands for something. So in a second here, he's going to say, yeah, why don't you guys go ahead and go on through. He said, I'm a little slow, and we had already passed him once in the day. But I love his helmet, and he was blasting some martial music from his stereo system. So, you know what? You got to give it to guys like that, easily into his 60s, if not older than that, and out enjoying it. And I give a guy like that all the credit in the world. Nicely done. And I hope he enjoyed his riding for the day. So again, I just want to welcome you to the Big Brother Cycling. We definitely appreciate your support. We appreciate your viewership, taking some time out of your day to watch our little adventure here, 7 hours, 200 or 190 some miles. You know, if you do like what you see, we would appreciate it if you would hit that like button and hit the share if you want to have some of your buddies take a look at the tail of the dragon. Definitely we appreciate that in all manner. Thank you for watching. And if you want to hit the subscribe button, of course, that really makes us happy. Trying to get the channel to grow, and we have some other additional great rides coming up this year. We're going out to South Dakota, out to Needles Highway, and we're headed down to Virginia again to ride down there. And I think we'll also get down into southern Indiana for a ride. But as you can see, we're getting ready to we're on the tail of the Dragon at this point. I didn't have any idea what to expect, and again, just learning to ride this bike. Joe and I took it extremely careful, trying to stay on our side of the road, trying to work on our apex turns late into the apex and accelerate out of it. I don't think we ever got more than about 55 miles an hour or so on the actual tail of the Dragon. It was so curvy, and not knowing what the next curve was going to be. It's like, you know what? Let's just be careful. Here's a nice little still shot provided by 129 Photos. These guys are set up in the corners and take shots as you come through with their nice digital cameras. I think they captured it really nice. I love how this motorcycle looks, and it was just kind of an exciting opportunity to go through the ride. I followed Joe through for most of the entire day, and there you can see why, trying to keep on track. Again, handling skills need improvement, but we made progress throughout the day. Really enjoyed the time of the day we went through. We went through about 10:15 or so on that particular July 4th, and we had perfect weather. I think it was something like 72 degrees. The sun was out, and I am pretty pleased with the footage as it came through. So yeah, we just really enjoyed being out on the tail of the Dragon. I definitely am trying to learn how to ride this bike, how to ride the corners. This is an opportunity to see Joe as he actually heads back into the tail of the Dragon from his perspective. His camera is just tuned a little bit taller than mine, or a little bit higher. It gets a little wider field of view. And it's interesting that without someone in front of you, you don't have a good idea of how fast you're really traveling, I guess. And this gives definitely a different impression of how you're going. You can see the photo guys there coming into frame and taking some shots. And I'll tell you, this guy scared the heck out of me. Not that one, but this guy here. He was way outside of my corner. Same with that one. And it's like, okay, we not only have to stay on our side of the road, but we really have to stay on our side of the road and watch what's coming at us from the other side. I can't believe these guys took these large trailers, in that case a couple of dual trailers, through the tail of the Dragon. I'm not sure where they were headed, but I was wondering if there was maybe a better route or something that they could have taken. And again, here's a nice little shot from the cameras on the side of the road. Joe leading, me following, and then we go back into Joe's footage here. Again, lots of Harley Davidsons, lots of victories, lots of Indians were out that day, baggers, and we did see some sport bikes as we come around, but for the most part it was not a day for dual sporting, and maybe that's not the purpose of it, but it's so nice to see everybody out riding and enjoying the nation's birthday at that point. So let's enjoy the ride for a little bit, and I'll be back with you. So I really have to say that I was so thrilled with the performance of the ride, or of my motorcycle for that matter. It has all kinds of pulling power. If you look at this from a 75 horsepower, 430 pound bike, you wouldn't think it has the performance it has. But for my skill set and the way that the handlebars sit, the way that you sit on it, I just love the way that this rode. I think I sat for most of the time in either second or third gear, which allows you to stay down in those low RPMs, and then when you crack the throttle to come out of the corner, it just goes. It doesn't hesitate. It's got nice torque, and honestly, the way that this L twin sounds when you come out of a corner, It really is a nice, it's a nice sound, it's a nice feeling as you're on the bike. And again, going into the corner, you know, from 35 mile an hour down to 24 miles an hour, do the double switch back there, and then jump right back to it. You know, it was a nice ride for us. I don't think we got more, like I said, more than about 45, maybe 50 miles an hour through the tail of the Dragon itself. So that was just an experience of low speed, but the opportunity to just enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery, and enjoy the way that the motorcycles were responding under the clutch and throttle. And from a new motorcycle perspective, I was fairly pleased. I do say a little bit more about that towards the end of the video, because Joe and I swapped motorcycles at some point, and I was just really taken aback by the difference between his broken-in 2017 and my motorcycle that's not been broken in yet. You can definitely feel the difference in the clutch, feel the difference in the shifters and the throttle response. As a broken-in motorcycle, his definitely feels different, and I hope mine gets to that point a few hundred miles down the road at that stage. I'll tell you, this was really a fascinating ride with all of the corners and the way that they're banked, allowing you to go through like right here, and then as importantly, you know, the caliber and quality of the pavement was really fantastic. I live in Michigan, where this would be almost an impossible road to traverse due to all the potholes and patches, and you'd have to go through at about a third of the speed, quite honestly. But down here in North Carolina, it was an awesome ride, and the road really gave you the feel and feedback that you were looking for as you came through. Again, here we approach another photo section, 129 photos, which is where I downloaded some of the photos you see in the video here, and give them all the credit in the world for a really nice set of shots as you come through. Yeah, definitely coming through the tail of the Dragon was an experience that I'll cherish for a long, long time, and honestly, I hope to get down there again. Probably not again this year, but definitely early next year. Joe and I might decide to take another trip down there. It was just simply so much fun. Again, coming around the corner here at another section of where the photos are being taken. Again, from Joe's perspective here, really diving into those corners. When you're running this kind of bike, it seems like you're leaning all the way over, but the photos show differently. However, the feeling or the sensation of that ride does stay with you for a long time. With Joe just really also going through this for the first time, he was not into taking a significant number of chances or a significant number of reckless type of riding. It was just simply, hey, let's enjoy this. Let's see how well we can navigate the turns and the corners, and then accelerate out through the straightaways. Again, one more time, here's another photo section here, and I just really appreciate the fact that those guys are there, that they're taking the photos that they are. Otherwise, we'd have to stop and take some shots. And I really enjoy the fact that they were able to get both of us into frame. As a matter of fact, here's a quick look at both Joe and I from the front. A couple of things to notice on this. The headlight differences between Joe's 17 and my 2020. His has got the incandescent light and mine has the LED light, and honestly I think you can see his light better. We saw that in our reflections off of vehicles in front of us, and definitely looking at each other in the rearview mirror. His headlight provides more visibility. Mine might be, I think, cooler, but definitely more visibility from his headlight than from mine. So super ride for the day, and the Tail of the Dragon lives up to its name. I think we're heading out towards the end here in a little bit, but I think it's an 11-mile ride. You guys that are the technical guys and the rivet counters can determine how far, how fast. I just know it's got a whole bunch of curves, and it's about 10, 11 miles long. I just can't tell you how enjoyable it is. If you've never had an opportunity to ride the Tail of the Dragon, I would highly recommend it. And it's something that just makes for a lot of motorcycle joy when you're out doing it. Yeah, so we are coming up on the end of the Tail of the Dragon, and we actually, I guess, cross out of North Carolina back into Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure on the geography, but essentially we cross the line right there, and yeah, you've got Welcome to Tennessee, and that pretty much brings us back out. This is the northeast corner of the Tail of the Dragon. As we come out, we head towards, it looks like there's a gathering place at the head of the Dragon, if you will. A few of the sport bikes coming through finally, and you know, those guys were having just an awesome day out there, obviously, on this ride. And as we come up to it pretty soon, we're going to head towards the sculpture of the Tail of the Dragon, and you know, it gives you an idea that that's kind of a gathering or jumping off point for the other cyclists that are out there, or other motorcyclists that are out there. This was just such a gorgeous ride. In addition to the thrill, the appreciation of the beauty of the rivers and the twisting roads that followed it. As a matter of fact, as you saw from the route for the day, it started out with us taking a trip over from Marysville over to the southwest corner of the Tail of the Dragon. And honestly, I enjoyed going up and over that mountain in between to get there. There's the sculpture of the dragon, and here's the Gap filling station, and Joe just wasn't sure if we were going to go back through or not. And honestly, I thought that it was a busy enough day. I think it just was time for us to head out and just really enjoy the rest of the Tennessee and the North Carolina countryside. So we just headed out. We started driving towards Cherokee at this point, through the Smoky Mountain National Forest. And here's where I honestly so much more enjoyed the whole day. Number one, it didn't take near the focus or concentration of going through those all those twisty turvies, although fun. They were just a lot of, my stress level was up. But this is riding. Look at that beautiful river to the right. And Joe is just tooling along here. We're just relaxing, 40 some miles an hour. We're not rushing. It was a beautiful 4th of July. And, you know, we were also covered up by some of the vehicles that were ahead of us. And one thing I have to remark on, there were all kinds of people out enjoying different patches of river. I really envy the people that can do that, have the opportunity to be that close to the area. You can see they just headed out for the day. They found a place to park, and after they found a place to park, they just headed down in the river and enjoyed the cool water and enjoyed a bit of nature out there for the day. So we weren't up for that. We were out for the ride, but I got to tell you, it is beautiful countryside. It's a beautiful place to ride, and the people were incredibly friendly. Those we ran into, not physically ran into, but those we passed, were friendly. They would wave and definitely greeted you. And of course, we were on our best behavior, trying not to offend anybody as we came through there. So enjoyed the second half of the ride. That was we had ridden over to the bottom of the Tail of the Dragon, and then gone through the tail of the dragon, and now we were just kind of heading out through a few different spots there. I think this is some footage as we went over the mountains and headed towards maybe Townsend, if you will. But as we climbed, there were some switchbacks and some other spots that gave us an opportunity to try out the performance of the bikes, and just learning how the bike responds, learning how we're taking the corners, and how nimble this bike is with the wide handlebars, the upright stance. Here you can see Joe going right through a set of switchbacks, and then onto the gas, onto the throttle, and back up over the top. That is fun riding to me, and it wasn't so nerve-wracking, but definitely a lot of technical riding for the day. And as I said, we're both kind of learning some of this terrain, and never having gone through this area much before. We were just really being very careful and enjoying the scenery for the day. So sit back and enjoy some of the beautiful countryside. So we headed out of Cherokee, where we had a delicious lunch at one of the Cherokee buffets over there, and headed up into the Smoky Mountain National Forest. Definitely the tourism bureau was out in full force for the day. It was a packed road, and there were a lot of cars, definitely a lot of people out and about, and that's okay, and going through some of these tunnels, it's just a fun experience. People are honking their horns and testing the echo of the tunnel. Of course, you go from light to dark, back to light again, and it was a neat experience. I got to give credit to the guys who build those rock walls along the overhangs there, keeping us out of the big 1,000-foot falls off of that. Here's another tunnel that we were going through, and like I said, they do a marvelous job of maintaining the roads down in this area. So very thrilled that we didn't need kidney belts to ride for the day, but rather we just were out enjoying the ability to take in this beautiful green countryside. Some of the awesome waters that were flowing through the rivers and so forth. It really made for a very fun, fantastic day for us, quite honestly. Another river here on the right-hand side, and I just couldn't get over the fact how much water is just permeates this area, and the difference between rapids right here and then some lower areas that aren't maybe traveling as fast, but I do have a bit of envy that people can enjoy that down there, and they can enjoy it almost year-round without the massive snows that we get into here in West Michigan. I think we were heading in towards Townsend now, and a bunch of people enjoying the river, enjoying climbing on the rocks. I think I had a little bit of video earlier. Some guys were tubing on it. There were several tubing groups out there enjoying it. And here's another shot from the tail of the dragon, actually, but kind of gives you an idea of the bikes from the back. And again, learning our technique and skill, and definitely trying to develop the aptitude to go out and actually ride these bikes to the best of our ability. So sit back, enjoy a little more riding on the Great Smoky Mountain National Forest.
This is a gorgeous river here to our left. It's running towards the south and southwest, I think it is. But just some beautiful rock formations, nice boulders, and very, very pretty here on this 4th of July weekend. I did switch bikes with Joseph, and I'm a little disappointed in my own. His cockpit seems much tighter, a little narrower for some reason, and it is a 17 versus a 2020. And more importantly, his bike is much smoother than my 2020. I don't know if that's a problem with my adjustments, or because I'm just about 700 miles in. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but definitely his is much smoother in the throttle response, and a little harder clutch pull because this is the cable pull, and mine's a hydraulic clutch. Brakes are about the same. Very, very good brakes on both of these bikes.
Hey, thanks for coming along with us today. We are thrilled to have been able to ride down at the tail of the Dragon to enjoy Tennessee and North Carolina, and it was a perfect day for riding. 7 hours, 190 miles. If you like what you see, hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. Hit the share, hit the subscribe button. We really love your subscriptions. We're just getting the channel off the ground, and thanks for watching, and thanks for coming along with us. Until next time, we appreciate it, and we hope you have a beautiful ride on your next one. Thank you.